Hello and welcome to the Global Fashion Workshop channel. I remind you that we release a new video 3 times a week. Look at this sketch. Today we're going to make a shirt. It's easy and fast. For example, if tomorrow you go on a seaside holiday, this shirt will come in handy for such a trip. I've got 1.2 meters of linen fabric and we'll make a pretty shirt with a one-piece sleeve. I've made a lot of videos with one-piece sleeve drafting, but it doesn't mean my tutorials and videos are boring because you already know all the tips. In every new garment, the one-piece sleeve is different. This sleeve won't be long, it's short. I wrote down the sleeve length measurement. It's 25 centimeters. It's 25 centimeters, I guess. It's a little higher than the elbow. What I'd like to say, we'll have a little angle on the one-piece sleeve. It won't look like a usual sleeve. I'll make it fast, but I want it to fit well on me. This is my wish. You have already seen such videos with one-piece sleeves. Next, you can draw yokes, style lines, or raglan sleeve imitations on the pattern. Anything. I mean, you take this pattern and draw the raglan sleeve, yokes, style line imitations, or all of these at once. If you make a lot of seams in the garment, it'll be tight. I'll make a one-piece sleeve. It'll be lowered a little. Next, I'll make the placket. It's important. I'll tell you how to make this linen placket. Next, I'll make a tulip collar with a one-piece stand. When I was younger, those collars were popular. Today, nobody tells information about drafting this collar, but I won't have much time today to tell you all the information. I'll make another video about the collar. I'm going to make a shirt now. Plus, we'll be ironing the placket. I'll show you everything. If you watch this video and think I won't show you something new today, no, I'm going to share some new information with you. So let's begin. Let's look at our measurements. The bust is 116 centimeters, half is 58, and a quarter is 29 centimeters. The hip is 114 centimeters, half is 57, and a quarter is 28.5 centimeters. This shirt will have a loose fit. The back length is 41 centimeters, 1/4 of the height. This measurement starts from the 7th cervical vertebra to the waistline. The back width is 41 centimeters. How do you measure the back width? Stand in front of the mirror and take a measure through the top part of the back, from one to the other shoulder. My measurement is 41 centimeters. The sleeve length is 25 centimeters. Why is it important to take this measurement correctly? You won't need to calculate it later. That's why just measure the length from the shoulder and then draft the back block, or else it would be difficult to understand how long my shirt is, because in this case I would need to calculate and waste time. Today's drafting is easy, so we shouldn't have to bother about any calculations. So, I've got 6 measurements in total. Bust, hip, the length and the width of the back, the garment's length, and the sleeve length. Of course, you can choose another length. If you like long shirts, you can take such lengths. Maybe you'll make a longer shirt to the knee level and make a waistband, and you'll get 2 in 1, a shirt and a beautiful dress with a one-piece sleeve, with little slits on the side. This design is casual. We've made a lot of different dresses and blouses with one-piece sleeves of different lengths and functions. Write your comments. What do you think about? We are ready to work. Let's do it. Write your comments. They really help us and inspire our work. I move the ruler by 1.5 centimeters from the edge. By 1.5 centimeters. Take a look here. This is a fold on the center front. Just a fold and that's it. Maybe you'll make a seam here. Then move the ruler from the edge a little. Draw your line, add some centimeters to the seam, and draw a more concave line. Because of my shape, I won't make this seam on the back. If you make the seam, just leave some space for the fold. I work on the fold line. The fold line is my center back. I made a seam allowance from this point that I measured, not for working here on the edge. I measure 3 centimeters down. This is the 7th cervical vertebra. I measure 41 centimeters from this point. This is my back length. Here is my back length, 1/4 of the height. I draw a horizontal line. It's a waistline. I measure 60 centimeters down from the 7th cervical vertebra. This is my garment length, plus 5 centimeters for the hem allowance. No, let's take 4 centimeters for the hem allowance. 60 plus 4, 4 for the hem allowance. This is my waistline. I won't draw the hip line. I measure the hips on the hem line. If you don't trust yourself, please take the ruler. What about my hip measurement? 1/4 of my hip measurement is 28.5. Let it be 29. I want to make a loose fit shirt. I took 31 centimeters. Linen is a thin fabric, so it's not tight on me. That's why I take 2 more centimeters. When the fabric is thin, it's always tight on you. I draw a little line from the 7th cervical vertebra. I divide the distance between the 7th cervical vertebra. It's 41 centimeters in half. It'll be 20.5 centimeters. When I release a video about cutting garments with a one-piece sleeve, a lot of haters attacked me. Why? Everyone asks me one question. Who starts cutting with the back block? Who? I have received a lot of poor comments. Today, I have an opportunity to answer the questions and comments. In Soviet Russia, we learned this way. First, we start cutting with the back block. If you aren't a tailor, you don't know such nuances. But I start cutting with the back block and then go to the next. If you find some old books or speak with a professional tailor like me, they'll tell you, we start to cut a garment with the back block. I measure 1/4 of the bust. It's 29 centimeters, and I add 2 centimeters for the wearing ease. I can draw the side seam. Here is 1/4 of the bust circumference and 1/4 of the hip circumference. It doesn't matter that this circumference is not here, but a little lower. This is my waist. Of course, I can draw a straight line. It'll be okay. Oversize is trendy nowadays because we all want to relax without the tension. Yes, we like it that way. I want to accentuate the waistline. That's why I draw a concave line, but it's within reason. Look at my drawing. It looks good. Next, the back width. I need to draw the back width line. My back width is 41 centimeters. I take 20.5 centimeters. These are my shoulders. I measure 7 centimeters down from the 7th cervical vertebra. 7 centimeters is the neckline of the back. If you have a bigger size, please take 7.5 centimeters, not more, and measure 3 centimeters up. Just plus 3 centimeters up the back. And draw the neckline of the back. Pay attention, please. I'll draw it and make it rounded. Don't round it so much. You won't sew in the collar. This line should be logical and smooth, like this, quick, like this. Now we cross the neckline of the back with the line of the back width. This is the point. I measure 1 centimeter down from this line. I connect the top part of the neckline of the back with the point 1. This line goes from the point 1. This is the back width. Those lines have crossed. I measure 1 centimeter down. I measure 1 centimeter down and measure 3 centimeters up from here. I connect those points and make them longer. This is the distance. I divide this distance from the neck to the waist in half. This is the bust line, but it is not related to the level of the bust points. It's just a working line we call the bust line. I divide the distance from the waistline to the bust line in half. It's 21 and I get 10.5 centimeters. Usually we start to cut the one-piece sleeve from this point. You need to know, what does the abstract point mean? The sleeve could begin from this point, and the point can be lower. The sleeve can start higher if you have a thin arm, or you can start just higher. It's okay. If we start drafting the sleeve from this point, look here. My sleeve is 25 centimeters. Mark 25 centimeters from the shoulder, but I'll take 30 centimeters for the hem allowance. I'm kidding. Take a look here, please. I'm going to make a one-piece sleeve right here. Let's return to this point. Let's go down by 2 centimeters. So let me explain what's happening with this shoulder line and point. The line goes from the shoulder. I draw the sleeve length that I need and draw the line down a little bit by 2 centimeters or even more. Now I draw the right angle from here and measure the width of the sleeve. I'll take the sleeve width about 16 centimeters. It's 32 centimeters here. Let it be 17. This is my side seam. The side seam goes here, here, and what have we got? Well, it's fine, but you can lower the sleeve down like this by 2 centimeters. I can make it lower or not. The hemline of the sleeve is 17 centimeters. I'll lower it by 2 centimeters down. Not this, but that. I draw it because later I'll remove it using an iron. I draw the line here from this point. I make it lower. What does that mean? It means here we'll get less excess, like in a dolman sleeve, but it's not a dolman sleeve. Today we've worked on a one-piece sleeve. Nice. I used some pins. I removed 2 centimeters from this straight line. It's my first shoulder line and I hadn't moved the whole sleeve down 2 centimeters yet. It means I made the angle of the sleeve down even more. I'll cut it and you'll understand. I'll make some slits on the sides. We'll get a perfect shirt. Let's talk about the stand. I mean the placket. We're ready for cutting. I didn't add any centimeters to the hem or to the hem of the sleeve because I added enough. I cut right here. At first, I wanted to add some centimeters, but no, I add 1 centimeter to the shoulder seam of the sleeve because I'll need to stitch it later. Imagine this distance. 34 centimeters is enough for me. I don't want to make a wide sleeve. If you want to make it wider, take 18 or 19 centimeters. It'll be okay. Keep a right angle here. There. So I cut here and add for the side seam there. There. When we cut the back block, there's no problem with the front piece. The sleeve angle has changed. Do you see? How will it look on me? It could have been here, 4 centimeters there. I move it down, but not for real. I give another direction to the sleeve. That is important. So the back block is ready. At first, I draw the center front lines. This is the first line, the center front lines. It should match with the center back line, in other words, with the fold. The center front and the center back lines should be here. It's important in cutting. It goes without saying. I draw the hemline. You can cut it immediately without drawing. You don't have to draw anything here. Next, I add here 1.5 centimeters. It's half of the placket. The placket will be 3 centimeters. 1.5 centimeters will be up to the fold. I measure 1.5 centimeters from the center front to the fold and made a placket 3 centimeters wide. I add 6 more centimeters to make a placket from the fold line. I'll iron 3 and 3. We'll get the placket. You can make a fold on the front in the linen fabric because the front and the inside are the same. If in your case, the front and the inside are different, you will make stitches on the front side. Look here, I fold it. What do I need to raise? I will raise 2 centimeters on the highest point, no more. This is my center back. Do you see? Those are the center back lines. I draw a horizontal line from the highest point, and here I measure from the center front. It's how you imagine a summer shirt. I can measure 7 centimeters. It will look like that. I can measure 8 centimeters, but I measure 8.5 centimeters. This is the highest point of the back, and this is the highest point of the front. I draw the round and beautiful neckline. I raise it from the center front a little. Why do I raise it? When I fold it in this point, I won't have enough fabric here. I will cut the excess later. Next, my sleeve goes here, and I'll raise it a little there. My placket is almost ready. I know the center line and the fold line. If you make the thread seams here on the placket, make them on the fold line, not on the center. It means make them not along the first line, which matches, but about 1.5 centimeters to the side. If you mark this line by the thread seams, you will just iron them, and that's all. You will get the perfect shirt. We were noting everything here. This is the perfect one-piece sleeve. Like so. Oh, how do I get there? I'm trying. I need to cut this line. I can't move it, because if I pull here, I'll move it there. I can't move around the table, but I'm trying to cut. About the wearing ease, it's your choice. If I make the wearing ease by 2 centimeters on the bust from each side, it means 4 centimeters from the one side and 4 centimeters from the other side. It'll be a loose fit. Choose the wearing ease according to the fabric. Maybe you'll take an elastic fabric, because it will also look good. It is necessary to understand what our soul wants, because we make garments for our body, and of course our soul is always taking part. Some people like a loose fit. Some people don't. Everybody knows their own length, width, and sleeve length. I told you about this perfect shirt today. We drafted the front and the back blocks with plackets. We need to iron, stitch, and overlock it and draft the collar. The next time we will measure and draft the collar. Please don't miss our next tutorial. It's time to say goodbye. Click the like button and share our videos in social media and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. All the best from Irina Paukshte and the rest of our team.